Welcome to the Eat This Book podcast. I'm Michael Whitworth. Each day we take a small piece of scripture and we sit with it. Not a quick snack that disappears before lunch, not a chore you check off of a list, but rather a meal meant to be savored. So pull up a chair. Let's eat. In Greek mythology, Atlas was condemned by Zeus to hold the sky on his shoulders for eternity. He stands at the edge of the world, legs braced, muscles straining, bearing a weight he cannot set down. It's one of the most iconic images in Western civilization. This titan frozen in effort, keeping the cosmos from collapsing through sheer endurance. When most people hear that the sun upholds the universe, they picture something like Atlas, a divine strongman gritting his teeth under an infinite load. Hebrews has something entirely different in mind. We're still in the opening sentence of this letter, a sentence that has been piling up descriptions of the sun like stones on a scale. He is God's final word, heir of all things, agent of creation, the radiance of God's glory, the exact imprint of his nature. And now this, he upholds the universe by the word of his power. The Greek verb is pherōn, and it doesn't mean holding something up the way Atlas holds the sky. It means carrying, bearing something forward, moving it toward a destination. The word has built into it a sense of motion, purpose, and direction. The sun isn't standing still beneath the weight of a static cosmos. He is carrying the universe somewhere. Every atom, every hour, every unfolding event, borne along by his active, continuous will. And the means by which he does it should stop you in your tracks. Not by effort, not by strain, by the word of his power. The same voice that spoke creation into existence in Genesis 1 is the voice that sustains it now. Let there be light was not a one-time command that set things in motion and then fell silent. The speaking never stopped. The universe exists, moment by moment, because the sun keeps speaking it into being. Think of a singer holding a note. The sound doesn't sustain itself. It requires continuous breath, continuous vibration, continuous energy from the one producing it. The moment the singer stops, the note dies. The universe is like that note. It doesn't coast on its own momentum. It is carried by a voice that has never paused, never wavered, and never gone hoarse. This is not deism, the idea that God wound the clock and walked away. This is something far more intimate. The sun is actively involved in every second of the universe's existence. The coffee cooling in your mug this morning is cooling because the laws of thermodynamics are being upheld by the sun's word. The blood moving through your veins is moving because the biological processes that sustain you are themselves sustained by a deeper word beneath them. There's a staggering intersection here with what the letter has already told us. In episode 95, we heard that the sun is the one through whom God made the ages. He is the creator. Now we learn he is also the sustainer. He didn't build the house and hand the keys to someone else. He built it, and he maintains it, and he is carrying it toward a destination that the rest of Hebrews will slowly unfold. And in episode 97, we heard that he is the exact imprint of God's nature. Put those together, the one whose nature perfectly reproduces the Father's nature is the same one whose word holds everything in existence, which means the power sustaining the universe is not impersonal force, it is not raw energy hurtling through space. It is the power of a person whose character is identical to God's. The hand carrying you is a hand you can trust, because you know whose imprint it bears. The first readers of this letter needed to hear that. They were under pressure, social pressure, religious pressure, possibly the threat of persecution. The ground beneath them felt unstable. The familiar structures of temple worship were fading. The new community of faith was fragile and small. It would have been easy to conclude that things were falling apart. The writer's response is not a pep talk. It's a cosmological claim. The sun upholds the universe. Not just the pleasant parts, the stable economies, the peaceful seasons, the days when faith feels strong. The universe, the whole of it, including the parts that feel like they're crumbling. The ground beneath your feet has not shifted, because the one carrying it has not let go. And notice, the text says the word of his power, not the power of his word. The phrasing is unusual, and the emphasis falls on power, power that expresses itself through speech. This isn't a God who struggles and strains and barely holds things together. His sustaining act is a word, an utterance. The way you or I might hum a melody without effort, the sun sustains the cosmos. The carrying is real, the effort is not. That reframes how we think about God's relationship to a world full of suffering. The universe is not slipping out of his hands. It is not too heavy. The famines and the floods and the diagnoses that change everything, none of these mean the carrier has gone tired. The word of his power is not weakening. When the ground shakes, it shakes within a universe that is still being spoken, still being carried, still being borne toward wherever the sun is taking it. Here's what I think we should savor from this passage. First, the universe is not self-sustaining. We live as though the world runs on autopilot. Gravity works, morning comes, hearts keep beating, and we treat these as background assumptions. Hebrews says they are active gifts. The sun is speaking them into continuity right now. Nothing you depend on today is coasting. It is being carried. Second, the carrying has a direction. Pherōn is not static. It implies movement toward a goal. The sun is not merely preventing collapse. He is bearing everything, including you, toward something. The story of the universe is not a treadmill. It's a journey, and the one carrying it knows the destination. Third, power expressed as a word. The sun doesn't sustain the universe the way Atlas holds the sky. Through gritted teeth and trembling shoulders, he sustains it by speaking. That's the kind of power Hebrews wants you to trust. Not a God who is barely managing, but a God for whom sustaining all things is as natural as breathing, as effortless as speech. If you're in a season where everything feels like it's unraveling, relationships fracturing, plans collapsing, certainties dissolving, this passage doesn't promise that the unraveling will stop tomorrow, but it does say the one carrying the universe has not let go. The chaos you feel is real. The carrying beneath it is more real. If you lie awake at night with the weight of things you can't control, your children's futures, your parents' health, the state of the world, you are trying to be Atlas, shoulders braced, teeth clenched, holding up a sky that was never yours to hold. The sun carries the universe by a word. You are not designed to carry it by worry. If your faith feels fragile right now, threadbare, barely holding, the good news of this verse is that your faith is not what holds the universe together. His word is. Your grip on God is not what keeps you in existence. His grip on everything is. You can exhale. If you work in a field where you carry others, medicine, education, ministry, caregiving, and you feel the weight of it pressing you into the ground, this verse makes a distinction worth absorbing. You carry responsibility. The sun carries reality. Those are not the same burden. You are a steward, not a sustainer. Let the difference give you room to breathe. If you've experienced loss that made the ground feel like it disappeared beneath you, the death of someone you loved, the collapse of something you built your life on, the pherōn of the sun means the ground did not actually vanish, it shifted. It hurt, but it is still being carried, and so are you, even when you cannot feel the hands. Next time on Eat This Book, the one who holds the universe together does something unexpected. He deals with your sin. Not in theory, not in part. He makes purification, and it's finished. Join me again in Hebrews 1, verse 3, as we discover what that means for guilt, grace, and what's already been done. Thanks for eating with me. Until next time, may the Word dwell in you richly.